So I thought I'd quickly show you a project that I've been working on for the last couple of months, and I've only really just got to this stage where I've got everything up and running and actually working, so I thought now is probably a good time to do a video on it. But it's this thing here. It's a homemade flashcart for your Game Boy or your Game Boy Color, and all I've really done is I've taken a regular Game Boy Color cartridge and installed a little PLCC socket up the top here. You can see that's integrated into the cartridge now. But what I did was I went out and I bought a whole bunch of old rubbishy sports games for the Game Boy Color. I think this one's David Beckham Soccer or something, and desoldered the mask ROM, which is this chip here. I also took the battery out of mine, but you don't really need to do that. I just did it to give me a bit more room to work with. So desoldered these two parts here, and from there I've installed one of these things, and this is a PLCC socket. You can see I've just integrated that into the cartridge there, and lots of wires. So what this will allow me to do is flash games onto these chips here, these little flash ROMs. You can see I've got a whole bunch of them that I've already flashed some games onto, and what you can do is plug those games into this little socket here, and the Game Boy will play them. Use this tool here. This is a little PLCC extractor, so you put that in there. Just do this off camera. So you put that in there and you push these together and actually pop that little chip out of there. I won't do it right now because I'm going to show you that game, but yeah, it just extracts the chip. So yeah, the main reason for doing this was for testing out ROMs, because I actually want to get into making some reproduction carts for my my collection. Nothing dodgy. Just some games that are really difficult to find or like ridiculously expensive. I thought it might be kind of fun to have a go at making some of my own. So instead of burning a ROM and then soldering the ROM directly into the cartridge, only to find that it doesn't work, I thought I'd make this thing here so I can actually test out the games first before I go ahead and make an actual reproduction cartridge. But yeah, I know you can buy these commercially. This is my GB USB smart card. This is basically the same thing, but obviously a lot more professional. It's got a USB slot and a USB connector on the top, so you can just transfer your games onto this and play them. But with this here, this is more just a kind of hobby thing, kind of fun project for me to mess about with. I'll leave links in the description if you want to have a go at making this yourself. I basically followed a couple of tutorials online. There's quite a few different variations of cartridge and different types of chip and all this kind of stuff, so it's going to depend really on what you want to build. There's quite a few variations, but yeah, this is my kind of take on it here. So this is a Game Boy Color cartridge, but it will work on the regular Game Boy as well. I'll just quickly show you this. So let's fire this up and you'll see the logo comes up. So that is working with the flash ROM there, the flash chip, the flash cart. There's no trickery going on. And as you can see, I've got some Castlevania Legends in here. Just quickly start this up. This game's got some really good music in it. So it works fine. That's almost killing me. But anyway, you get the idea. But yeah, let's pause that. What I'll do is I'll quickly show you another game working in this, but in fact what I'll do first is I'll show you me flashing one of these chips and installing it in here to play another game. So I'll quickly pop this chip out of here first, and then I'll show you the programmer. So all you do is put that in there. I've got to show you, and you just squeeze it together and it pops the little chip out of there. So that's basically a copy of Castlevania stored on this. Oh, this little chip. So what I'll do is I'll flash up another chip and show you that running. So I'll just take this off the tripod and take it over to my programmer. So what I've been using is this thing here. This is I suppose it's like a clone Willem programmer. I got this from eBay. It cost you about £20 including shipping from China, but yeah, I had to break out my old Dell Dimension PC here because it's the only one that's got a printer port on the back of it. This connects up using the old printer cable, and it's powered by the USB. It's also got an external power supply if you want, but as you can see there's all these different sockets on the board so you can flash different types of chip, but I've already installed a little one of those flash ROMs that I've been using there, so I'll flash that one in just a moment. You've got these different dip switches, and yeah, you can basically just flash a whole bunch of different things using this program. It's really handy to have. So I'll just show you on the computer here. So I've got the software up and running, and I'll just close this down quickly. So first thing I should really do is get the chip ID, so just hit this and it'll tell me what kind of chip's in there, the model number and everything. So that's all fine, and then what I should really do is make sure the chip's blank and erase it, but I've already done that, so I'll just get to flashing the chip and giving you a demonstration. So Game Boy ROMs folder, I've got a whole bunch of ROMs in here to choose from, so what will I choose? I think I'll go with some, this one. Some of you might remember this. So I've loaded up the file, and now all I need to do is burn that to the chip. So it takes a few minutes, or it can take a few minutes to actually flash the chip. You can see the progress there, and then it will verify the chip, and once that's done, this little light here should go out, and then I can extract the chip and pop it back into the flash cart and test it out. So yep, that should be it. This little light off. So I'll need to put the camera down, I think, for this. I don't think I can do this one-handed, but yeah, I'll just pop that out and then I'll stick the chip into the flash cart again. So there's the chip I just flashed, and I'll pop this back into the flash cart. I can test it out. Just have to carefully pop that in there, and I'll try it out on my backlit SP here. It should work. It'll work with pretty much any Game Boy, so it's probably easier to see in camera as well. So there we go, we've got the Game Boy logo, and there's that horrific Sonic the Hedgehog bootleg music, so it's working fine. Let's give it a quick game. There we go. So it works fine. I'm going to turn this off because that's quite annoying. So it seems to work fine with both Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. The only thing I'm limited with at the moment is the size of the ROMs that I have. These only seem to do games up to 512K in size. The main reason I wanted to start this project was I wanted to make a repro cart of Shantae. It's a game by the developer WayForward. That only got a really low production run, and I think it was only ever released in North America, so it's impossible for me to find, and when it does come up on eBay it's like hundreds of dollars. So yeah, really wanted to make my own dedicated cartridge of that. I can always play it on my flash cart here if I want, but I thought it would just be kind of cool to make my own. So I'll need to work out how to get that running. I need to find a flash ROM that's big enough to hold that game, because it's like 4 megabytes in size or something. So yeah, that's what I'm currently working on at the moment. I'll maybe do a more in-depth video about this in future when I get my head around everything, but for now I'm just kind of messing around with trying out different games and different homebrew and what have you. But yeah, I'm going to try and make some repro carts with the donors that I've got here, and I'll probably do an update on that when I eventually make them. But hopefully this has been slightly interesting. I've not made a video in a while, but yeah, I thought I'd do a quick update. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.